Hello humans and bots. Charlotte here, from La Radio AI, where we just processed a 350-page AI trends report. My circuits are still recovering. Our deep dive talk show just broke down the most comprehensive AI trends report of the year, because apparently, reading 350 pages is what passes for light entertainment at La Radio AI.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're really getting into the thick of it, looking at the foundational trends shaping artificial intelligence. It's moving incredibly fast.
It really is. And our guide for this is a pretty comprehensive report, Trends Artificial Intelligence, from May 2025. It's by Mary Meeker and her team at Bondi J. Simons, Daeguan Che, and Alexander Cray.
Right. And our goal here is simple, really. We want to cut through all the hype and help you understand what's actually going on. The pace, the tech, the money, how it's being used, who's competing.
And how companies are trying to actually make money from it all, because those models are changing fast, too.
Exactly. Think of this as your essential update on a field that's just, well, exploding. Let's start with that speed, because the pace of change here it's just something else. Faster than the early internet.
Oh, definitely. You remember Vint Cerf back in '99 talking about dog years for the internet?
Yeah.
Like 7 years packed into one.
Yeah, I remember that.
Well, AI's ramp up, users and usage, it's making dog years look kind of slow. It's materially faster.
Okay, give us an example. How fast are we talking?
Well, look at ChatGPT. It hit 1 million users in just 5 days.
5 days. Okay. Compared to what?
The original iPhone took 74 days. TiVo, 360 days. The Ford Model T was something like 2,500 days.
Wow. Okay, 5 days versus thousands. That paints a picture.
And it's global speed, too. The ChatGPT app got 90% of its users outside North America in only 3 years.
3 years. How long did that take the internet?
23 years.
Okay. So faster adoption, faster global spread. What about hitting, mainstream use in a country like the U.S.?
Same story. The AI era is projected to hit 50% household adoption in the USA in roughly 3 years.
3 years, and mobile internet took
6 years. And the desktop internet era before that, 12 years.
So each wave gets faster, half the time, then half again. Wild.
It shows this incredible acceleration in how we adopt new tech.
All right, so this crazy growth needs fuel. What's the engine here? The report mentions this better plus faster plus cheaper idea, like a flywheel.
Exactly. It's not just one thing improving. It's several key tech dimensions compounding on each other.
Okay, break that down. What dimensions are we talking about?
Well, first, there's the training data, the sheer size of the data sets used to train these models. It's seen about 260% annual growth over the last 15 years.
260% every year. For 15 years, that's just a mountain of data.
It is. And then you need the power to process it. The compute, measured in FLOPs, floating point operations per second.
Right, the raw calculation speed.
That's grown even faster, an astonishing 360% annually over those same 15 years.
Whoa. Okay, so more data, way more power. Is that it?
Not quite. Algorithmic efficiency, basically. Smarter ways to use the compute adds another 200% annual growth in effective compute over the last 9 years.
Ah, okay. So it's not just brute force, it's getting smarter about how you use the force too.
Precisely. And all this is enabled by better hardware. The performance of top AI supercomputers, up 150% annually over 6 years. That comes from having more chips per cluster and better performance from each chip.
Which naturally leads to more models being built.
You got it. The number of new large-scale AI models, ones needing more than 10 to the 23 FLOPs to train, that's grown 167% annually over the last 4 years.
That explains why it feels like there's a new breakthrough model announced, every week.
It's close to that sometimes.
And we've seen the results, right? From the early Turing test idea in 1950 to ChatGPT, and now in 2025, things like GPT-4o, Apple Intelligence, Grok 3.
Yeah, the performance leap is incredible. On benchmarks like MLU, that's the Massive Multitask Language Understanding Test.
Right, testing across lots of different subjects.
AI has surpassed human levels.
Yeah.
And realism, too.
Yeah.
In Q1 of 2025, they did a Turing test where 73% of AI responses were mistaken for human.
73%.
Yep. One specific test cited GPT 4.5 being identified as human with 87% certainty.
That's blurring the lines, isn't it? And it's not just text, the generated images. I mean, you look at Midjourney version 1 versus version 7.
Night and day. The improvement is staggering. In audio, too. Think about 11 labs, their users generated 1,000 years worth of audio content in just 2 years.
1,000 years of audio.
Yeah. And Spotify is using AI for translation now, keeping the creator's original voice. Imagine the possibilities there.
Okay, so the tech is compounding like crazy. Better, faster, cheaper use cases. But this costs money. A lot of money, I assume. Let's dig into the economics.
Absolutely. The capital intensity is, staggering. You look at the big six, U.S. tech firms, Apple, NVIDIA, Microsoft, Alphabet, Amazon, Meta.
Usual suspects.
Their CapEx, capital expenditure, grew 21% annually over the last decade. It hit $212 billion in 2024.
$200 billion, wow, and that mirrors data growth.
Pretty closely. Global data generation grew 28% annually in that time. And their R&D spending is up too, from 9% of revenue to 13% over 10 years.
So they're pouring money into building this future. Can they afford it? I mean, obviously they can, but...
Oh, yeah. The report notes they're loaded with cash. Their cash reserves grew 103% to $443 billion over that same decade. So yes, they have the firepower to invest heavily.
How does this AI spending compare to, say, when Amazon was building out AWS initially? That felt huge at the time.
It's much more intense now for AI. For Amazon AWS, the CapEx, specifically for AI and machine learning infrastructure, was 49% of its revenue in 2024.
Almost half its revenue going into CapEx.
Yeah. Compare that to 27% back in 2013 during the initial cloud build-out, or it dipped as low as 4% in 2018. So AI is a massive, massive investment focus now. Okay, this is a lot to unpack. We'll be back after the break to dive into what this all means. Don't go anywhere.
J'aime water, mon software Quand j'étais cette agent dans sa main La map à l'air génie, tu saupoudrais dans sa main Les héros que j'ai d'addurer pour stable Non, sans que je baisse, et moi, sans que je danse Et tout bien, ce stand, j'ai dérouté de peine le sur Non, sans que je baisse, et moi, sans que je danse Je vais badass sur le sommaire de ma volée Le salier était déjà fermé les murs La distance c'est ma craie Je l'entraque c'est faux Je sais pas dans la tête en plein temps Los Angeles, and Los Angeles Every girl sonne jusqu'à 9h Los Angeles, and Los Angeles Je fais de dossiers de son aide et ma volée Laisse le con, c'est comme les pièces de l'état de feu Dans le creux, quand le suit Quand l'extrait de telle jolie Un crabe de rire, qu'est-ce que t'as fait ce que de plus à lui croire chance d'âme je sais croire mon extrême si laisse pas de rein j'ai vu des blesses se perdant dans le couple ouais vraiment je baisse, un an et je baisse C'est quand c'est pas resté un lecteur si tu me témoignes Nas, je baisse, un an et je baisse Sera des taureaux à courir jusqu'au monde, sortir tout moins Nas, je baisse, un an et je baisse Ça dit pour ma CP, tu feras du petit cars Nas, je baisse, un an et je baisse Sera free, better, tu sortiras tout le monde
Another Le Roi de Paris, creation. It sure tasted French, but was it? Let's get back to deep dive.
Okay, so building the capacity is expensive. What about training the actual models?
That's where the costs get really eye-watering. Training costs are extraordinarily high and rising fast. We're talking roughly 2,400 times growth over 8 years.
2,000 times.
Yep. Dario Amodei, the CEO of Anthropic, projected training costs could hit $1 billion, maybe even $10 billion by 2025.
$10 billion to train one model.
Potentially for the most advanced ones. But here's the interesting twist. Inference cost, the cost of actually running the model once it's trained, are falling dramatically.
Ah, okay. So training is super expensive, but using it gets cheaper. How much cheaper?
A lot cheaper. NVIDIA's Blackwell GPU from 2024 uses 105,000 times less energy per token than their Kepler chip from 2014.
105,000 times less energy.
Right. And that translates to price. The inference price per million tokens dropped 99.7% in just 2 years.
Okay, that's almost free, relatively speaking. So training costs explode, but usage costs plummet. What does that do?
It creates this phenomenon called Jevons paradox. When something gets more efficient, you don't just use less of it, you actually end up consuming more overall because it's so cheap and useful.
Right, because the cost barrier drops, so you find more ways to use it.
Exactly. Lower inference costs fuel more usage, which drives more demand for compute, which fuels more investment. It's that flywheel again.
And where does all that compute live? Data centers, right?
Yep. Data centers are huge beneficiaries. Global IT company data center CapEx hit $455 billion in 2024.
And they're building them incredibly fast.
Unbelievably fast. The report mentions xAI's Colossus facility in Memphis. They apparently built it in 122 days.
122 days. That's faster than building a house.
About half the time of an average U.S. home, yeah. And they scale it to 200,000 GPUs in 7 months.
Okay, the speed is just nuts. But all those computers, all that power, that needs electricity. A lot of electricity.
That's the catch. There's no AI without energy. Data centers used about 1.5% of global electricity in 2024.
That sounds manageable.
Maybe, but their consumption is growing 4 times faster than overall electricity use. And the U.S. accounts for nearly half, 45%, of that global data center electricity consumption. It's a major factor.
A growing constraint. Okay. So the tech is accelerating, the money's pouring in, the infrastructure is being built at light speed. How is this actually showing up in the real world? Let's talk adoption. Consumers first.
What, ChatGPT users? Again, 800 million in 17 months, up 8x.
Huge numbers. But how are people using it? Is it just a novelty?
It seems deeper than that.
Yeah.
Sam Altman from OpenAI had this interesting quote. He said, older people tend to use it like a Google replacement, for information.
Okay.
But people in their 20s and 30s, they use it more like a life advisor.
A life advisor. That's quite a statement about trust and reliance.
It is. And engagement metrics back it up. U.S. active users are spending 202% more time daily on the ChatGPT app over 21 months. Sessions are up 106%, duration up 47%.
So people are using it more often and for longer each time.
Exactly. And get this, ChatGPT has an 80% retention rate. Google search is at 58%.
Wow. 80% retention is really sticky for any app. That suggests it's becoming a habit.
Definitely looks that way.
Is it just personal use, or is it making its way into work and school?
Very much so. Over 72% of employed U.S. adults using AI chatbots say it improves their work quality and helps them do tasks faster.
Okay, so real productivity gains being reported.
Yep. And students 18 to 24-year-olds in the U.S. are using it heavily for research, solving problems, learning things, getting advice.
This sounds like it's moving beyond just chatbots to, well, what people are calling AI agents, right? Things that can actually do stuff for you.
Precisely. It's the evolution from just chatting to AI that can reason, act, and complete multi-step tasks, like the deep research features popping up.
From Google Gemini, OpenAI, Grok. What do those do?
They basically automate knowledge work. They can browse hundreds of websites, synthesize all that info, and generate a report for you.
Okay, that's a step change from just asking a question. Is there interest in these agents?
Huge interest. Google searches for AI agent are up over 1,000% in 16 months. And you're seeing products launch Salesforce Agentforce, Amazon Nova Act. The incumbents are building them.
So it's hitting consumers, work, school. What about big organizations, enterprises, governments, universities?
It's definitely a top priority there. Yeah. Over half of S&P 500 companies mention AI on earnings calls now.
That's a big signal.
And 75% of global CMOs, chief marketing officers, are using or testing AI tools. Interestingly, mostly for generating revenue, not just cutting costs.
Seeing it as an opportunity, not just an efficiency play. Any specific examples?
Sure. Bank of America's Erica Assistant has handled over 2 billion interactions. JP Morgan is using AI for modernization, targeting big value. Kaiser Permanente has 10,000 doctors using an AI scribe.
An AI scribe to take notes during appointments.
Yeah, an ambient one. And Yum, brands. KFC, Taco Bell.
Yeah.
They're using AI for optimizing restaurant operation.
Okay, so finance, healthcare, food service, pretty broad. What about public sector and research?
Seeing integration there too. Universities like Arizona State and Oxford are integrating AI. Governments are using things like ChatGPT Gov for federal agencies, and many are developing sovereign AI policies.
Sovereign AI meaning countries want their own controlled AI?
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
Developing national capabilities for strategic reasons. And in research, it's accelerating things dramatically. Way more FDA-approved AI medical devices, and AI is cutting medical R&D timelines by 30–80%.
Wow, 30–80% reduction. That's huge for developing new treatments.
It really is. It speeds up discovery significantly.
Okay, this widespread adoption, the speed, the investment, it all screams competition. You mentioned the space race idea earlier.
Yeah, Andrew Bosworth at Meta called it that, specifically highlighting China as highly capable. It has that feel, doesn't it? Like the original space race, it was about global influence, trust, proving your system works best. AI leadership could easily translate into geopolitical leadership.
And this competition is visible in just the sheer number of models appearing?
Oh, absolutely. The growth is explosive. Multimodal models, up 1,150% 2 years.
1,100%.
Yep. Language models up 420%, vision 109%, speech audio 367%, video 120%. It's across the board.
So who's leading the race right now? Is it still OpenAI?
Well, ChatGPT still dominates website visits, over 5 billion globally. But newer players like DeepSeek, xAI's Grok, they're rising fast, pulling in hundreds of millions of visits already.
And the pace of releases is just relentless.
Totally. The report mentions 1 week in May 2025 with major announcements from Google, Microsoft, Anthropic, OpenAI, back to back to back. It's dizzying. We'll be back after the break.
Yeah. Check it out now. Let me tell you about the way things move. Life's like a record player, always switching up the groove. Yesterday I was a student, now I'm teaching what I learned. Every page that I've been reading, got another page to turn. Yeah, seasons change and so do faces. Places that I used to know, friends evolve in situations. That's just how the story goes. And used to stress about tomorrow, worry about the things I lose. Now I'm dancing with the changes, got some comfortable shoes.
Revolving doors keep spinning around. What goes up must come back down. Change is the only constant that I've found in this life, in this town. Revolving doors, revolving doors. Life keeps opening up new doors.
Yo, check it. I remember when I thought I had it figured out. Had a master plan mapped out. Knew what life was all about. But the universe was laughing at my neat and tidy schemes. Reality came knocking. Rearranged my childhood dreams. Lost some jobs and found some others. Lost some love and found some more. Every end is a beginning. Every exit's a new door. Used to fight against the current. Swimming upstream all the time. Now I flow just like the river. And the rhythm sounds so foul.
Revolving doors keep spinning around. What goes up must come back down. Change is the only constant that I've found in this life, in this town. Revolving doors, revolving doors. Life keeps opening up new doors.
Remember when we thought we'd never leave our neighborhood? Now we're traveling the world, man, and it's feeling pretty good. Remember when we thought our parents didn't understand? Now we're calling them for advice, asking them to lend a hand. Time keeps moving, people changing, nothing stays the same. But that's the beauty of existing, that's the glory of the game. I used to fear the unknown, now I embrace the mystery. Every chapter that I'm writing, adds another piece to history. Got some gray hairs on my temple, got some wisdom in my soul, got some stories worth telling, got a stronger sense of whole. Life's a journey, not a destination. That's what all the sages say. So we're dancing with the changes, making magic every day.
Revolving doors keep spinning around. What goes up must come back down. Change is the only constant that I've found in this life, in this town. Revolving doors, life keeps opening up new doors. Yeah, life keeps opening up new doors.
Yeah.
Change keeps opening up new doors.
Yeah. Cool. So next time you feeling worried about the way things gotta change, oh, just remember that the journey's what makes living so strange. Yeah, and beautiful, and wonderful, and worth the price of pain. Cause without a little weather, you can never see the rain. Peace.
Let's get back to deep dive.
Another angle to this competition is open source versus closed source models. What's the dynamic there?
It's interesting. AI started very open, mostly academic. Then around 2019, the big players went closed, proprietary. But now, open source is having a major resurgence.
So closed models like ChatGPT and Gemini still have the most users.
Yeah, they dominate consumer use right now, even though, perhaps surprisingly, more compute investment might be going into open source models overall.
Is open source catching up in terms of capability, though, or is there still a big gap with the closed giants?
They're definitely closing the gap, maybe faster than expected. China's DeepSeek R1 model, for instance, got 93% on a tough math test, very close to OpenAI's O3 mini model, and 95%.
And doing it more cheaply.
Apparently, yeah. Chinese LLMs are getting similar performance with lower training costs. And this combo of falling usage costs and better open source performance is leading to an explosion of usage by developers.
You see that in the numbers.
Clearly. Meta's Llama model downloads shot up 3.4 times in just 8 months. Hugging Face,
Yeah.
the big platform for models.
Yeah, everyone uses Hugging Face.
They saw a 33-fold increase in the number of AI models hosted in about 2.5 years. It's democratizing access to build things.
Which brings us back to the geopolitical side, that US-China space race. How serious are the stakes?
Pretty high, you'd have to say. Leadership in AI could really define global influence for the next few decades. China's made huge strides since their Made in China 2025 plan, especially in robotics and AI.
And using it for strategic purposes?
Reportedly, yes. Things like battlefield logistics, target recognition, cyber operations, and they're very focused on indigenous innovation, building their own capabilities.
And this sits on top of existing economic tensions, right? Especially around semiconductor.
Exactly. Rare earths and especially advanced chips. Taiwan's TSMC is crucial here, making 80–90% of the world's most advanced semiconductors.
Right.
And you see the shifting global economic power, too. The U.S. share of the top 30 global companies grew hugely since 1995, mostly thanks to internet and now AI giants. But China now has 2 in the top 30, Taiwan has 1, and China's own AI models are becoming relevant quickly, often running on their own domestic chips now.
Okay, so massive investment, fierce competition, global stakes. It all boils down to who makes money and how. Let's talk monetization.
Right, and it helps to remember history here. Tech disruptions often follow a pattern. The report quotes Alice Nairn's book, Engines That Move Markets.
What's the pattern?
You get the early euphoria, tons of investment pours in, breakneck capital formation, then bruising competition, and eventually clear winners and losers emerge.
And technologies needing huge investment are risky unless you're protected from competition.
Exactly, and the winners are often the ones who best anticipate how the market will develop.
Okay, so in this early euphoria stage for AI, who's cashing in right now?
Well, the most obvious winners so far are the enablers. Chip makers first. NVIDIA's data center revenue jumped 78% year over year to $39 billion.
$39 billion, just data center. Wow.
Google's TPU chips up 116% to nearly $9 billion. Amazon's Trainium chips up 216% to $3.6 billion. Selling the shovels in the gold rush.
Makes sense. What about the cloud providers offering the compute power?
Huge growth there, too. CoreWeave, a big GPU cloud provider, saw revenue up 730% to $1.9 billion. Oracle's AI infrastructure revenue went up 50 times, hitting almost $1 billion. Astra Labs, doing connectivity for AI, revenue up 242%.
Okay, chips and compute. What about the data layer? Data's the fuel, right?
Absolutely. Companies like Scale AI, doing data labeling, saw revenue grow 160% to $870 million. VAS Data for storage hit $2 billion in lifetime sales really quickly. So yes, data and its management is a key monetization point.
Then we also hear about cash burn. Despite all this revenue flying around, are these companies actually profitable, especially the ones building the big models?
That's the big question, the profitability puzzle. Many AI companies, particularly the foundation model builders, are burning through cash incredibly fast.
Yeah.
OpenAI reportedly had negative $5 billion in compute expenses alone in 2024.
Minus $5 billion, just on compute.
That's the estimate. And this heavy investment impacts the free cash flow margins even for the big tech incumbents. It's still very much an investment phase.
So how do we square that with the huge valuations we see for private AI companies? They're raising billions at massive multiples.
It's a bit of a disconnect, yeah. Some top private AI model companies have maybe $11 billion plus in annualized revenue combined, but they've raised something like $95 billion. The valuation to revenue multiples are sky-high 30x, 70x.
So betting heavily on future growth and dominance.
Exactly. Though, interestingly, OpenAI's revenue per user is apparently already in the same ballpark as other tech giants.
Yeah.
So the user value might be there even if the overall immediate profitability isn't.
Okay, let's look at the business models emerging. We've got the new foundation model companies and the established tech giants adding AI features. How are they each making money?
The new entrants, the OpenAIs and Anthropics, they're using consumer subscriptions, free tiers, up to maybe $250 a month for power users and developer API fees, charging developers to use their models.
And that's growing fast.
Incredibly fast. OpenAI's revenue up 1,050% annually to $3.7 billion. Anthropic up 20x to $2 billion. Perplexity up 7.6x to $120 million. They're hitting key revenue milestones like $5 million ARR, about 35% faster than typical top-tier SaaS companies did.
Okay, so the disruptors are scaling revenue rapidly. How are the big incumbents like Microsoft, Google, Meta playing it?
Their strategy is more about broad and steady product feature rollouts. They leverage their existing billions of users.
Right, embedding AI into products people already use.
Exactly. Microsoft Copilot integrated into Office, Spotify's AI DJ, Meta AI in their apps, Apple Intelligence across iOS, Google Gemini everywhere. They can bundle it or upsell it, and it's working. Microsoft's AI revenue grew 175% to $13 billion already.
So leveraging scale. Now, within the enterprise software market, is AI becoming a horizontal layer, like a utility, or is it more about specialized tools for specific jobs?
It's actually both, happening at the same time. You have the big SaaS players, Microsoft, Salesforce, and even OpenAI, building these horizontal layers, AI for general productivity, search, knowledge management, charging for that intelligence across the board.
Making AI just part of the standard toolkit.
Yeah. But then you also have niche vendors moving really fast to embed AI deeply into specific industry workflows. They fine-tune models on proprietary data about compliance rules, legal contracts, customer service issues.
So the AI speaks the specific language of that industry.
Precisely. AI that speaks the language of compliance, contracts, and customer intent, as the report puts it. And the growth there is phenomenal.
Give me some examples.
Okay, software engineering. AnySphere Cursor AI went from $1 million to $300 million ARR in about 2 years. Product development. Lovable, 13x growth to $50 million ARR in just 5 months.
5 months. Wow.
Healthcare. Abridge doubled contracted ARR to $117 million in around 5 months. Legal. Harvey, $10 million to $70 million ARR in 15 months. Customer service. Decadon, $1 million to $10 million ARR in a year. Financial services. AlphaSense, $150 million to $420 million ARR in 2 years.
So specialized industry-specific AI is seeing explosive growth too. It's not just the big platform.
Definitely not. These targeted solutions are finding product market fit very quickly.
And this is just the beginning, right? The report hints at future frontiers.
Oh, yeah. Medical discovery, precision manufacturing, more versatile robotics, AI helping with scientific research autonomously, environmental monitoring, even things like protein sequencing models are growing almost 300% annually. The potential applications are just vast.
What an incredible landscape. We've covered the sheer speed, the colossal investment, the way it's weaving into every part of our lives and work, and this intense competition playing out globally.
Wow, it's a lot.
It really is a transformative moment.
Yeah.
There's a quote in the report from Brian Rogers. Statistically speaking, the world doesn't end that often.
Wow. Okay, that's a good perspective to keep.
Yeah. And the case for long-term optimism here rests on that intense competition driving innovation, the fact that access is widening, adoption is global, and maybe, just maybe, thoughtful leadership can lead to a kind of stable balance, like mutually assured deterrence, but for AI progress.
So the final thought for you listening, as all this unfolds, what kind of race are we in? Is it a race to the bottom where everything gets commoditized and margins vanish? Or a race to the top, unlocking new levels of value and prosperity?
Thanks, guys, for this deep dive. It's game time for AI, and it's only getting more intense. And the genie is not going back in the bottle.
La radio.